Good morning, everyone. Hi. Welcome to the first ever Connecting with Collections event. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Sayyara, and I'm the collections intern here at the Boston Children's Museum. I'm gonna wait for a couple of minutes so more people can come in and join me for today's program, because I'm hoping we can look at a very intriguing object from our collection, make some observations, and share some ideas and information about it. If you're watching, please feel free to type in the comments where are you joining from. I would love to hear and see where people are. Well, as I already mentioned, I'm in the Boston Children's Museum, and right now the room that I'm located in is the main collection storage room. We have all kinds of different objects from all around the world here, and actually the object that I chose for today is also from another part of the world, but that I will share in just a little bit. So, hi Zahra, it's good to see you here. So I introduced myself, but I would also love to introduce our collection mascot. Say hi to Hans. Hans is our collection enthusiast. He loves to explore all the drawers here you can see in the background, and pull out really cool objects that we can learn about and look at and yeah, get to know, basically. So, all right. Well, without the further ado, I would love to show you the object that I chose for today, which is a mask from, I'm not gonna say the country name just now, but I want you to first take a closer look at it. Can you see? What do you notice about this mask when you look at it? What stands out? Feel free to type in the comments. Do you see this huge grin that goes from almost one cheekbone to the other? Isn't that the biggest smile you've ever seen? How about the coloring and patterns on the mask? Can you see that? Hi, Alyssa. Yeah, look at those big teeth. I actually have not seen teeth on a mask before coming across this one. And big round eyes, that's a great observation, Alyssa. They are very big, and actually they're bulging out of the surface of the mask. Can you see it from the side? Yeah. What else do you see when I show this side of the mask? What is it, Hans? Oh, Hans is telling us that he notices these slits over here. That's right, David. There are a lot of details to it. Is there anything that stands out to you, David, in particular? Maybe something that you also noticed were these 3 cobras. Can you see that? It was very interesting to me when I first paid attention to these cobras, because see how their hoods are open? That means the cobra is about to strike. It's feeling threatened. In the country where this mask is coming from, which is Sri Lanka, cobras are very common. You can pretty much find cobras anywhere on this island country. Maybe that's why they made it into a traditional mask. Hi, Olivia. The mask is actually pretty light. It looks bulky and heavy, but it is not that heavy. But that's a great question. So Olivia asked us, how heavy is the mask? And here I really want to show you another mask example that I came across during my research. Not all the masks are so light. If you look at a mask that we wear a lot these days, like this one, it's a cloth mask. It's much lighter than the one I showed you. When you look at old historic masks, like this one, can you see? It has a lot of the similarities with the one that I was showing, but this one is made out of stone. So it would be really hard to wear that. So David is asking us, what's on the head? Are those animals? Yes, I can show it again. These are cobras. There are 3 of them on the mask. It's across, I guess, the forehead, and the central one is bigger than the 2 on the right and the left to it. And the colors are also different. The central one is like this yellowish banana color, while the ones on the side are pretty gray. I know! Yeah! I was really intrigued by that. They look like they're smiling. Alyssa asked us what is the mask is made out of. Well, we can actually take a closer look at its inside. Maybe that can tell you what it's made of. Any ideas? Can you tell? Yeah, looking at the inside, we can see these traces of the carving knife, which means that this mask was carved out of wood. This wood is called kaduru in Sri Lanka, and it's a very soft wood, soft type of wood, which makes it really easy to carve. It's not as easy to shape as a clay or Play-Doh or something like that, but it's relatively easier to work with. We got another question from Olivia, and she's asking if there's any significance to the colors of the mask. That's an excellent question. There isn't, from what I've read about it, but an interesting fact about the colors is that because this mask is almost like 80 to 90 years old, the colors that were used on it were probably made out of natural materials that come from plants, from tree roots, or flowers. So when I asked I'm not a mask maker, but someone from Sri Lanka about this, he said that they would take flowers or tree leaves and then smash them and then add some oil or some chemicals and then use that as natural coloring, which is why I guess it's kind of faded. It's not as glossy and bright as the colors that we can get in art stores these days, right? Those are really great questions. Yes, Alyssa, it is carved out of wood, and it's completely handmade. It is carved by one group of people, and then in the making process, the next person takes over its design. Like one does the shaping and another person does the coloring. But the usage of this mask doesn't end there. When would someone wear it? Yes, that's a great question. It is actually used in a few different ways in Sri Lanka. It is used for dances and performances, both on the festivals and in special occasions. But regular people, not so much today, but back in the day, they used to have these masks hung on their wall to protect them from evil spirits. Actually, the name of this mask is Gara Raksha, and Gara here means demon. So this mask was created as a protection, like a shield, to protect people from evil eye and bad spirits, and people would have them in their homes to protect themselves. Yeah, Hans really likes that. He says we should have it here in the storage room somewhere on the wall, so we never get any evil spirits in here. That's a great idea. We should do that. I'm just kidding. I don't think we can do that. We have another question from David, and he says, would the holes on the sides be used for a strap or tie to hold it on the wearer? I'm glad you brought our attention back to the slits on the side of the mask, because that is a secret of this mask that I really wanted to share with you. It actually consists of more than one piece, and Hans is going to help me to assemble all the pieces together now. And you haven't seen these other pieces, so I'm very excited to share it with you. And I'm hoping I don't drop it. Yeah. Okay, ready? Ta-da! Oh my god. So here is, oh my god, I'm so scared to drop it. Okay, so here is our complete look of the mask. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? So, what do you think has changed? Yes, it is very big now, much bigger than my face. Yeah, we have this huge ear looking things that go into the slits that you pointed out in our observation. It actually visually reminds us of a cobra with open hood, right? If a person was wearing it and the body of a person would be like the body of a snake, and these ears would be just like the open hood of a cobra. If I was an evil spirit, I would not stick around with that guy. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Alyssa, because as much as the mask has a smile on its surface, on its face, let's say, it is a pretty creepy smile. So I guess with such a big creepy smile and the bulging, huge round eyes and the 3 cobras that are about to attack, that is definitely a big threat for the big evil spirits. So yeah, I definitely think the evil spirits would not come close anywhere where this mask can be found. Oh, and about how the mask was worn by the wearers or by the performance during dances, I actually don't know that for sure, but I believe there was something that they would attach to it from the back, so that there was like a piece of cloth or something. And if you look right here, we can see that there is, can you see that little hole? I don't know if I'm pointing to the right thing, right there. So possibly something was attached to that, and there would be a piece of cloth that would cover the back of the head of the wearer. So when it's worn, you cannot see anything of a person who's wearing it. And that way, actually, it makes us think that we completely forget about the person who wears the mask. And when we look at it, when we ask, what is this mask all about? it's all about Dara Raksha. So it's all about scaring away the evil spirits without attracting attention to the person who's wearing it. Yeah, I bet it's hard to move around with this mask. Yeah, because also the opening for eyes on the mask is not where you would normally see an opening for the eyes. And once again, if we compare this one to this historic mask, we can see that on this stone mask, the openings for eyes are much larger. So if that one was worn by people, they would have some room to see. While for this one, there is an opening for the eyes right here below the eyeballs, but it's much narrower. So maybe the performers who wore the mask did not move as much and were more stationary than, doing all kinds of crazy movements. That's a good point to talk about. And what I also really like about the mask is that it is completely made from natural materials that you can find all around, basically. Like the wood. This wood grows on the island, and people utilize that to build such masks. And if you want to learn more about Sri Lankan masks, which is a great and very popular tradition over there, you can definitely look into it. We'll share a link to a short YouTube documentary in the end of this live event, and you will see in the comments. And there you will see how this mask is made, who makes it, how it's carved, and also some clips from the performances. Yeah, I kind of want to wrap up now, but I encourage everyone who's watching to find an object in their homes, or you can maybe pull out something from your home collection and look at that object as if you're seeing it for the first time. Imagine you know nothing about it. Ask questions. Look at its details, much like what we did today. What can you tell about its colors? What does its weight tell us about its purpose or how it was used? Can you tell just by looking at your object where it came from? Or do you need to do additional research to find that out? If you do this activity at home, please share some pictures with us. And don't forget to use Boston Children's Museum hashtag. You can do that on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to see what objects you decided to explore in your homes. You can do it with your friends too. That makes it more fun. Just like me and Hans. So, we had a lot of fun sharing our findings about this mask with you all. And yeah, we're gonna have another Facebook Live with a collection object later this month. So stay tuned. We will have more questions and maybe more activities for you. Thank you for joining today. Thank you everyone for your great questions. And we are done. Thank you. Bye bye. Hans. Bye.